I was still in school, and my mom was like, "You have to graduate from high school," but it was like I would I almost didn't graduate because I had so many apps. I had 150 days missed because
Oh, man.
I was going to New York and LA, and I started writing with Linda Perry.
That's
Um,
so wild.
yeah, and everybody probably like hated me. I think all my friends were like, "Meh."
Bringing it backward.
"Hi,
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?"
I'm great. I appreciate you doing this. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Sorry, I've had a tough few weeks, so I know I was all over the place before,
Oh, no, it's
but
all totally okay. Yeah. I think you were sick, right? Didn't you get sick?
yeah, and then I had a family thing,
Ugh,
but
I'm sorry.
it's okay.
Well, I appreciate you doing this. I'm Adam, and this is about you and your journey in music, and we'll talk about the album you have coming out. I think like
Okay, cool.
next Friday, I think.
Oh shit.
Right
Ugh.
in May 16th.
Is that next Friday? Oh god.
Coming up.
Oh, it's happening.
It is. It is. Well, I always kind of start off with, where you grew up. Whereabouts were you born and raised?
And I was born in Portland, Oregon, and I grew up in the suburbs that are actually in Washington. It's called Vancouver, Washington.
Okay.
It's kind of like, yeah, the suburbs.
The suburbs. What was it like growing up there?
Rainy. It was very
Yeah.
rainy, and there wasn't really anything to do. So I think that was good. And I'm glad I grew up like that because I think it caters to creative, to build creativity when you're young. So
Sure. Is Portland fairly close? Like, was that like the biggest city to you? Or
yeah, it's like 10 minutes away.
oh wow,
Um,
so you just right
yeah,
over the border. That's awesome.
yeah. My dog's here also. You say
Oh,
hi,
hi dog. What's your dog's name?
Marvin. He was obviously licking his butthole, so that's his that's his vibe.
That's amazing. Well, that's awesome. Do you come from a creative family, like a musical household at all?
My brother played guitar and he was really good at it and passionate about it. And like nobody in my family really was in my like you know immediate family was an artist aside from my brother would write songs and stuff, but I have like an uncle who's a musician. He's really talented, and like my great grandma was a painter and she wrote poems, and so we have it definitely
Yeah.
running
Is
running
your
through.
was your brother older than you?
Yeah, my parents had my brother when they were 16, 17.
Oh wow. Okay.
So he's 7 years older than I am.
Did you look up to him as far as like when he'd play guitar and write songs? Was that something that you wanted to do?
Yeah, I would like sneak into his room and try to read his songs that he was writing. But he has really bad handwriting, so I think that was a good way for me to
Not be
not
able to read it.
I'll never know what they were about.
Oh, that's funny. Did you take like piano lessons or anything like that growing up?
I did. I took piano lessons when I was like 8 and 9.
Okay.
Um, and then I did a lot of stuff growing up, but I would always quit everything.
Okay.
Um, I don't know why, I just always would quit. So I quit and yeah,
Well,
didn't
with
really
music,
play
you
after that.
obviously you kept going. When did you find like the passion for what you're doing now? Was that when you were younger?
Um, yeah, I was really into like musical theater when I was little, and I when I got bullied really bad in high school and I had to switch schools, and when
Oh,
I
wow.
moved to the new school, they didn't have a theater program, and so that's when I started to sing and think maybe I should do music in this capacity.
Oh, really? Okay. And then you were because you started doing covers, right, on, like, YouTube early on?
Yeah.
Was that kinda how it all began for you? Like, to get the courage to do that, that must have been I mean, obviously, you knew you were a good singer, or you wouldn't have went on the camera and been like, "Here's me." But,
I
when
guess
do you start
so.
doing that? Like, when do you start doing was that when you had switched schools already?
Yeah, I I decided to do the talent show, which,
Oh, wow. That's a bold
yeah.
move.
And so there was a girl in one of my classes who played piano named Summer Tong, and so we would like just hang out after school and she would play and I would sing. And we did the talent show and then she one day was like, "We should record, this on the, our little digital camera."
Uh-huh.
So we recorded it and she uploaded it to YouTube.
Wow. What song did you do for the talent show?
I did Someone Like You.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was, definitely 15.
Sure, that's awesome. And then from that, was she working with you throughout your YouTube cover things, or like, quickly did you just start doing it yourself?
Yeah, I did a little bit with my brother as well. We
Oh,
did some
cool.
things. Yeah,
And then you had a
and
shout out from Courtney Love at, like, 17 years old, which must have been insane.
yeah, I was actually 16, which was I think I was 16. Um, and yeah, that was just it was all crazy because I never really wanted to be a musician or be a singer or in like a serious way. I thought
Mm.
that I would be a painter.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah, and so when that happened, everybody was like, "This is not normal. Like like you should probably try to do this." And I sort of yeah, I went to New York and I performed at Fashion Week when I was 17.
Wow. Was that due to that her kinda shouting you out in the comment?
Yeah, the cover, like, at the time, it was like 2011, I guess,
Uh-huh.
2010. It's like social media, YouTube and stuff, it wasn't really what it is now, so
Yeah.
I remember it got like 1,000 watches after we like a couple days after,
Uh-huh.
and that was like crazy because like
Yeah.
I didn't know 1,000 people, so I thought that was weird because I was
Yeah, that
like, "Who are
1,000
these
people
people?"
saw this video, right.
Yeah, um, and a manager called me from New York, and it was Courtney Love's manager, and
Jeez,
that
that's so wild.
yeah,
And then at 17, you're like or you said you're 16 or 17 at that time, and then you fly to New York and play Fashion Week? Were you
yeah,
scared? Was that nerve-wracking?
yeah, I remember, like, begging my mom to let me have a Xanax. She's like, "No."
Did you just do at that point, were you writing your own songs, or did you just do a bunch of covers at when you performed there?
Yeah, I started writing songs, and I actually my first song I ever wrote was when I was 14. Excuse me. And then I wrote some songs with, like, friends that I had that were musicians,
Okay.
um, and then I, like, sang some other person song that was, like, a pop writer from New York, um, at the Fashion Week thing.
Okay. And then from there, did you did her manager help you out? Like, did you continue working with him?
I did. I was still signed with that management company until 2015, I think, or
Oh,
16.
wow.
Yeah, so it was like, I guess 5 years, 5 or 6 years.
So when you were working with them, didn't they then you started that's when you put out your first album, right? Were you working because you ended up getting signed to a major label, right? Well, I
Yeah,
mean, so did stuff must have moved pretty quickly then once you kinda had that door open for you.
kinda, but it was like I was still in school, and my mom was like, "You have to graduate from high school, but it was like I would I almost didn't graduate because I had so many apps. I had 150 days missed because
Oh, man.
I was going to New York and LA, and I started writing with Linda Perry.
That's
Um,
so wild.
yeah, and everybody probably like hated me. I think all my friends were like, "Meh."
Oh, they're all just jealous
Now
of
they're
you.
like, now they feel bad for me. At the time, it seemed cool.
Sure. Wow. Okay, so you're writing with her, and then you ended up working on the first album. You worked with, like, Alex Turner, right?
Yeah, so I had already signed to Columbia, and then like was essentially writing. I was going to London a lot because
He
I was
lives
working
up.
with a lot of writers out there.
What was that? I mean,
And
geez, to be you get signed, you're graduating high school, and then you're working with Linda Perry. You're still in high school, and then you're signed to a major label. They're flying you to London. I mean, that is such a trip to be that young and kind of have all that happening.
yeah, so the day after I graduated, which was the day after I turned 18, I graduated on my birthday, I think, or a couple days around then.
Uh-huh.
And then I literally got on a plane and flew to London by myself and to go work with all these producers. Like a lot of them had worked with like Adele and like Rihanna. And I think that the plan, unbeknownst to me, it was that I would be like a pop star. And but then I landed and I was just like, I'm a little girl. Like I don't know how to get around a city. Like I
Sure.
ri I drive my car around vacant parking lots and like go to Wendy's. That's like my like life experience as an adult.
Yeah.
And and so it was really kind of overwhelming, but also just like the best time of my life in really just finding myself and being away from everybody that, and not knowing anyone and having to like figure out who I was.
Uh-huh. And once you put that first album out, did you, like, get put on tour, or, like, what was kinda, like, the progression of that?
Uh, actually, it didn't get released until 2 hours, 2 years after it was finished.
Wow.
Um, and I don't really know why that was, but
Yeah, that's a long delay.
yeah. So I kind of sat around for a couple years and made some little music videos and um you know wanted to I wanted to be in charge of like the art direction of the
Mhm,
album, but I was also like I had like a high school level like art education and skill set, so um it was just sort of like figuring out as I went along, I
yeah.
guess.
The art for that album is awesome. The
Oh, thank
cover,
you.
yeah, with the flower, I think it's such a cool, uh, cover. Was that
Thank
part
you.
you got to have that direction on that album?
Yeah, for the for the visuals I did, but it was I painted that, like, in my kitchen, that little
Oh,
painting.
really? You did that? That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. Uh,
Um,
yeah, so so after 2 years or whatever, later after the album comes out, is that when they is the label like, "Okay, we're gonna put you on the road, like, let's start pushing this record?" Or were you already
yeah.
working on, like, the next album at that point?
I mean, I had written I had started writing again, um, but I wasn't really thinking about the next album until probably like 2016, 2000, yeah, 2017. Like it was very minimal amount of touring. Like I really didn't play that many shows. But yeah, once you know, once the touring seemed like it was kind of phasing out, my like manager quit and I got dropped.
Mhm.
And then at that point, I was living at home with my mom, so I was writing a lot on my own and started to work on the Archer more seriously which is
Was
my
that
second record.
yeah, was that like I mean, getting dropped and, you lose your manager and all this, did you kind of feel like, is this did you feel like defeated at that point, or did you want to keep moving forward, or was it like, is this going to work out? Like, is this what I should be doing? Like, did you ever question any of that?
I think I was, like, living in Portland and, like, not like, I was not, I had really distanced myself from, like, the industry,
Hmm.
just because I had had a lot of really negative experiences, and I felt like I just needed to, like, be home in my, like, hometown and not have to think about all of that for, like, the first time in my, like, life, basically,
Yeah,
because,
I mean,
it all
from high
started.
school and then you're right into this massive thing.
Yeah, so I wasn't really thinking about it, like, I knew I still was, like, really diligently, like, working on the songs, and I had a band, and I was performing around, like, local, Portland, uh, venues,
Hmm.
but I got so my friend Brian, who's also Danger Mouse, called me and asked if I would come and sing on a Broken Bells track with,
Yeah, James Mercer,
James
right?
Mercer
That's
at
so
his house.
crazy.
Yeah, because 'cause I'd worked with Brian before, and the songs didn't get onto my first album because it was, but and it was because they were based in Portland, so because that's where James lives, and
Hmm.
so I went over there, and then Brian had opened a label and was like, "Will you send me the songs that you have?" And then I did, and then he flew me out to New York, and I recorded it with, Sam Cohen, who is also on the label as an artist, but is a really great producer, and
Hmm.
so if it hadn't been for that sort of chance encounter, I don't know, where I would be.
Right. I mean, to get a call from Danger Mouse and have him say, "I'm working on this new project with, James Mercer of the Shins, and I want you to sing on it." That must have been a huge moment in itself.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it was cool. I really like I really respect James's, like, sense of melody. I think
Hmm.
he has, like, really unique, interesting and, like, the Shins were obviously growing up, especially being from Portland, were,
Yeah, huge
like,
deal.
the thing. So, I was like, "This is pretty cool." I think I, like, called my brother and was like, "Whoa, this" but, Brian I've known for a long time, and it was nice because I had always wanted to continue working with him,
Hmm.
um,
Yeah,
so
and then
I
he
was
signed
happy
you to
that
his
happened.
label too, right?
Yeah, and then I signed to 30th Century, um, and
That's
and
amazing.
then yeah, and then
Yeah.
the pandemic happened, but
Yeah, did you because you put the record out in 2020, was that before the pandemic?
yeah, it was, like, January 10th,
Oh,
2020.
man. So, what's that like? I mean, you have this album out and then the world shuts down, so you can't really, again, do much. The first album, it takes 2 years to put out, so the touring you said was kind of minimal, and then this time around on The Archer, it's, "Okay, I got, I'm on 30th Century, the Danger Mouse is helping with this record, blah, blah, blah," and then you put it out, and then the pandemic hits.
Yeah, it's so funny because I feel like every time I've been saying this a lot, but, like, every time I release music, it's been really anticlimactic, and, like, that was a different version of being anticlimactic. It's like a
I would
that
imagine.
but at the same time, like, I have a hard time on tour,
Okay.
um, and so I think we all everybody that I've talked to has been like when it first happened and then they were like, "Oh, yeah, everybody, like, be in your house for a couple weeks," we were all kinda like, "Okay." Like, I
Right.
could I'll paint my bedroom and, like, do some crafts and read a couple books. So, like, that's where I was at when it
Yeah.
first
We'll
happened
flatten
where
this curve in 2 weeks.
yeah, I was like, "Yeah, it's gonna be great. Everybody will be fine." Yeah.
And then, yeah, 2 years later down the line, Did you even have a chance to tour on that album?
I I had a tour that kept getting postponed that I ended up doing in, like, 2022, and it was just, like, a few shows, and so, yeah, it was a weird one because I actually I started doing these little paintings and selling them on Depop, and so
Mhm.
I was having all of this, like, all these interactions with fans and, like, literally writing people, like, letters and, like, I felt very involved with, like, the people that were listening to the record, and I was like, I just had, like, all these T-shirts in my mom's basement, and I was, like, signing them and, like, packaging them up and sending them off and, like, records and stuff, so it was kind of a cool way for me to be able to interact with people and really feel like the music was being heard, but, unfortunately not in, like, the way that not in a way of, like, being able to perform, but
Right, but you're still able to, yes, keep in contact with your fans and, how stoked are they to get a shirt signed by you or whatever, and you're chatting with them online or whatever. I mean, that's huge.
it was fun. Yeah, it was nice.
So going into this Beneath the Lily Pad album, tell me about, like, was this a different process, or, when do you start working on this?
So I started well, the first song that I wrote that made it onto the record was meant to be on my last record. It's called Let Me Out. And that I wrote in 2017, I think, like when I was touring my first album.
Oh, wow.
And then other than that, yeah, I had been writing a lot after I finished The Archer and I kind of scrapped all of that stuff because I just like I felt like everything had changed so much, like,
Mhm.
the minute that all that the so I felt like I'm in a totally different world, a totally different place, so I'm gonna just start over again, and then started writing, Beneath the Lily Pad then.
Why did you decide to keep that song? It would just Did you feel like it finally fit with the songs that you're writing now? Or for the album?
Yeah, it's a song that's, like, 2 parts, so it's, like, a two-part song, and
Mhm.
it's not like a traditional verse, chorus, bridge, whatever. So I don't think I knew how to, like, execute it properly before, and
Okay.
then I had been really, like, working on what I wanted the, like, vision to be for this album, and I felt like it applied to that.
Okay. Yeah, can you tell me about, like, what the album is about? Is there, like, a through line for it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a very, personal, album, and a lot of it has to do with my mental health problems and kind of like the dichotomy of having, bipolar disorder and,
Mhm.
the depths of, like, depression and the, extremes of mania and the psychosis that usually comes with mania for me, and, I think I was just, like, processing it,
Yeah.
um, being very isolated and having to, like, go through all of this, it made me see really what it is and what I am within it, and that's what the whole album's about, basically.
Wow. Did you feel like it was therapeutic to be able to write about it, or not really?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because it's like you write a song and then, like, 3 years later, you're like, "Oh, yeah, that's what that's about." Like
Oh, you find yourself, yeah, figuring it out later down the line.
yeah, definitely.
Interesting. Well, I love the records that you have out thus far. I think The Mothership is the newest one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I want, and when it came to this album, like, did you work with different producers or did you work with the same people that you had on The Archer?
I worked with Drew Erickson, who is actually my partner of 6 years,
Oh,
and
wow.
yeah, we were actually living in this room, um, with a mini fridge and a microwave and a piano, and, probably almost killed each other, but, also
You
it
wrote the
was
whole
like
album in that room.
pretty much.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh.
it was like kind of a it just like seemed inevitable that it would happen that way, and I was really going through so much like emotional and like just turmoil with my bipolar, and he really helped like kind of guide me through it and like encouraged me to go into the studio and really finish it and so
So
it
you
kind of
did most
happened
of the
naturally.
demos, yeah, the demos in there, and then you went and recorded it elsewhere?
Yeah, we recorded at Valentine's Studio,
Awesome.
um, with with a band, like, live to tape, and then
Really?
kinda yeah. So which was a weird thing to do because everybody was wearing masks and, like, we had it was, like, still the pandemic-ish.
Oh, when you so you recorded this a while ago.
Not all of it, but
Oh,
we
okay, but some
started
of
it.
it, yeah.
Yeah, we started it in 2021, but recorded it we I, like, was paying for it, so I couldn't pay to go in for 2 months into the studio, so we would have to go in fragments.
Uh-huh.
Um, so yeah, it was, like, over the course of 2 years, little, like, bits going in.
Wow. That's awesome that you did it to tape. I think that's really cool. And then the band was live also? Live to tape?
Yeah, yeah, for most of it, except for the 2 singles, because at that point, I had absolutely no money to pay a band, so
We're so recording all of it right now to live to
yeah.
tape. That's really
Yeah.
awesome though. Very cool. Well, do you plan on
Thanks.
touring this one? I think you have a couple dates coming up, right?
Yeah,
In
I'm doing
August.
some, like, American dates in, uh, August, California dates, and we're doing, like, the Troubadour
That would
for a
be
few
rad.
nights, and Outside Lands.
Oh yeah, in San Francisco.
Yeah, which is cool because 'cause I've never been to that.
That's a great festival. That's one of the better ones, I think.
Ooh,
So
I'm excited. I
yeah,
love
that'll
San
be
Francisco.
yeah, it's a cool one. In the middle of Golden Gate Park. It's awesome.
Wow,
Um,
that's cool.
yeah. Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I have
Thanks
one
for
more question for you before I let you go.
mhm.
I want to know if you have any advice for aspiring artists.
Ooh, you know what? Actually, Brian slash Danger Mouse, um, he gave me advice like 10 years ago, or probably more than that. Uh, and he was like, if you're ever stumped on like writing a song, just find like a song from that you love from the 60s or something and learn that and then like fuck the chords up a little bit and write a song over it, which is maybe like I'm not supposed to do that. It sounds like cheating, but it's really helped me a lot because, you know, it's sometimes like, sometimes things just don't come up out of nowhere. So that's always been a piece of advice that I've utilized a lot in my life.
Bringing it backward.